Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Benoit with Education 504 and 511 here at McNeese State University, where we are continuing mentor teacher training. This is going to be Module 11 overview. So I am going to go ahead and click on that overview tab to show you where everything will be. Of course, the video that I'm currently making will be posted right here. And we're going to take just a moment to calibrate with our portfolio. I'm not going to read all of this again just for the sake of time because this would have been the third time that I've read it so far, this course, and it's here for you. But what you are focusing on for this portfolio is your content instruction. And of course, the implement portion is the third portion of this. So remember that our objectives are right here, and they pretty much go in line with the four parts. The first thing we want to do, part one, is analyze. The second thing that we want to do is create a coaching plan based on the goal that we've developed in the analyze portion. And now we are at the implementing portion where we put the coaching plan into action and we monitor progress and adjust as needed. So that's where we are with our in the stages of the portfolio. Please remember these essential questions as you continue to support that mentee. What are the best practices that could be used to coach this mentee? How do we guide growth? And how do we give constructive feedback? Ultimately, we want to be focusing on one of these three aspects for our goal, either deepening their knowledge, their understanding and implementation of instruction skills. So that is the deepening of the content knowledge, planning effective instruction, or delivering effective instruction. And so remember that when we are considering these goals, we are using either the LAER rubric, the Louisiana Aspiring Educator rubric. Of course, that's what we use for our residents here at McNeese, or the Louisiana Educator rubric, which is what you will be using if your mentee is a practicing teacher. So remember that when we're talking about content instruction, so here's what the rubric looks like when it opens. And here the LAER has 12 indicators. The LER has more than 12. But remember that we're really thinking about these areas. This is what we're really focusing on right here. Presenting instructional content, activities and materials, questioning, academic feedback, teacher knowledge of students, thinking and problem solving. You could do assessment. You could do standards and objectives. So you could do some of these, but we're typically focusing on, these areas. They're usually the ones that are the best match for this 4-week cycle that we have. So keep that in mind. Our assignment for this portion is to implement the coaching plan that we developed. We want to collect and submit the following artifacts. So we have to have a minimum of 6 of them that demonstrate mentoring best practices with our selected mentee. So you need 2 to 3 relationship building ones. And please note, you are actually allowed to use the same ones that you used for your classroom management micro-credentials. So that really streamlines this process. You're welcome to use fresh ones if you would like to, but you can recycle the ones that you use from your classroom management one. Since we're doing both of them in a 1 semester cycle here, there's no need to, do completely new ones. You are allowed to if you would like to, though. But you do need to include them in the portfolio. Like, don't assume that we're going to go back to your previous portfolio. You need to put them in the document again, the portfolio document again. You need 2 to 3 coaching and support artifacts. And of course, we detail here what those are, what those could potentially be. And then you need 2 to 3 monitoring progress artifacts. And again, we've got some suggestions here for what those could be. So you want to annotate your artifacts to describe how each one directly addresses one of the following areas. Relationship building, no, I'm sorry. It's actually not one of these 3 areas. I need to change that out. It's actually one of these 3 areas up here. So deepening content knowledge, planning effective instruction, or delivering. So I'll change that as soon as the video is over. That was from the classroom management one down here. So I'll make sure to replace that and put the 3 where they need to be right here. You can annotate the artifacts directly in the document, or you can justify the inclusion in a written response that's 300 to 500 words. So either one works fine. Individual annotations are a paragraph that explains how each of them is aligned to support the coaching plan. So you submit your 6 to 9 annotated artifacts in the demonstrating the implementation of the coaching plan. Just a reminder here about making sure that you've completed the tasks associated with the previous portfolio. So that would be task 3, where you have to do some feedback review, and then also review if you need to revise and resubmit. So just a little reminder here, you want to take care of that. The sample is included here of the content instruction one. So we already reviewed the analyze a couple modules ago, and we reviewed the coaching plan last time. So I'm just going to scroll down. Here's our coaching plan. And then we've got our implement section here. And this is where each artifact is presented. Notice that the relationship building ones are presented again, and that each one of them is time-stamped. And there's a brief annotation explaining how each one of them was used to support the mentee. All right, so make sure you check that out. That sample is there. I'd like to go back and show you the resources that are available for you here in Module 11. So please, please, please make sure that you are checking out this lesson, this narrated lecture, Adaptive Mentoring, Adjusting Course to Meet Mentee Needs. This one seems to be very relevant at this stage of the coaching cycle. It seems to be very relevant. We get a lot of good feedback about this adaptive mentoring module. I've also included these 4 teaching works. These are really fantastic to help guide your coaching, guide the coaching plan that you might have for your mentee. And we also, of course, have the assignment, the prompt, and the rubric is here. And one other piece that will be here in just a moment, let me scroll back up to show you. Please go make sure you check out Module 10, just in case you, I'm going to go ahead and put the mentor teacher checklist in Module 11. I noticed that it's missing, so it'll be down there as well. And that just really guides making sure you avoid some common pitfalls. But we also, of course, have some other resources that might be beneficial for you at this stage. The co-planning, the co-teaching is there with some great documents in this co-planning. And then, of course, if you see Module 9, you also, of course, have access to those rubrics. And then if you need any of the tools for scripting and observation, the coaching plan and the one-on-one debrief, those are also there. So what I'm trying to tell you by kind of scrolling back is, if you need a resource at this stage of our semester, just dig back up in some of those future modules and you're going to find it. It's still there for you. Please reach out if you have any questions as you work through the material, and just continue to inspire and coach that mentee to greatness. We are so thankful to have you in partnership to support our aspiring and novice teachers, and even those experienced teachers are benefiting from your efforts to become a great instructional coach. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.